Yeah, let's go ahead and start. Great.
Yep.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and those of you who've already joined, welcome to NMS Consulting's third webinar of the series. This one is called Digital Transformation and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Mhm. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself then. My name is Sophia Binder, and I will be the host of this webinar. I'm also the marketing associate at NMS. And virtually by my side, I'll put it that way, is my colleague Lilia Chipleva, who's also the marketing associate. She's not speaking today, though. She's on standby. If there's any technical difficulties, she's going to jump in and save the day, but hopefully that won't be necessary. And then last but not least, we have Ralf Lemp, who is the director of the DACH region of NMS, excuse me, and he'll be leading this webinar. But just before we go on to the next slide then, I would like to say that if you have any questions at all throughout this webinar, please feel free to send them over to us in the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, should be in the bar, and then we'll get to your questions at the Q&A at the end. So a little bit more about Ralf. Who is he? Well, he is our digital transformation expert at NMS. He is an entrepreneur, consultant, as well as lecturer in management and digitalization. He has extensive background in sales, marketing, and business development in the ICT industry. And he has experience from all around the world, really, from the US to Japan to Poland, you name it. So feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn or Xing. And of course, feel free to connect with myself or Lilia on LinkedIn and Xing. We're happy to facilitate communication with you and to add you to our networks. So just to keep that in mind in case you're interested. And then the very last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to give the floor to Ralf, is a little bit more about who we are. NMS Consulting is a global management consulting firm with a focus on business transformation and strategic growth. Unlike other consulting firms, we provide the expertise of big firm consultants, but without the high costs. So we have offices open now in Berlin, Frankfurt, London, and Paris. And our focus in Europe now is strategy as well as transformation, but specifically in the SME market. And we have a broad range of services in the strategic operational technology. And of course, one of these is digital transformation. So I think that is a good segue then to you, Ralf, whenever you're ready. We're ready
Yep,
for you.
I'm ready. Okay, as Sophia said, my name is Ralf Lemp. I'm a business economist, and right now I'm sending this message from Berlin in Germany to wherever you are. And why are we doing this? Because in our opinion, as a consulting company, in 2021, running a business without being digital is no longer possible. So easy, make it work for you. And now I'd explain how you can do it, or together with us. First, I prefer to make a definition of digital transformation. You heard the word quite often. It's like a buzzword. But I'm sure you haven't heard too much about the definition. What does it mean, literally? Well, we start, what is it about? And I like in the first step giving our definition about the digital and the transformation. Then we go to the market and tech development. We all know the tech development is going faster and faster and changing our behavior and changing our world. I like to give a sample, a real life sample of a CM solution we installed in the customer here. So you see some small numbers about the result, what can happen if you do it properly. And of course, we have to go to the impact of the globalization on business, because you're not alone. Your competition is everywhere and literally everywhere. So, and then the next start is how we do it. How can you do it together with us? It is because your future is digital and it's now. So it's already started. And the question is, or the answer is, how your business can benefit from digital transformation. So first step, first definition, digitization. It's simply the transfer of an analog process into a digital one. Give you a sample. Nobody of us is writing on paper by hand or by computer systems with printers. We typewriters, yeah. So we switched to computers years ago. Typewriters, maybe some of them you don't know even what it is, how it looks. From word processing, we switched to email systems, still very popular. Then we moved to messenger systems, and now we are in the age of collaboration tools. And it's a progress going from to. And this from to you have in different other cases as well, like customer relation, different handling, product planning, HR management, communication itself, sample smartphones. And in the coming area of IoT and finance and controlling, MIS, ERP, all these three-letter words we use in business. So the transfer of analog you can see here. The next part is digitalization itself. We separate it because now we talk about creating a digital business model. What is it? Maybe, I'm sure you heard the word platform businesses, like Amazon and eBay worldwide, or in a private level, on a consumer level, Airbnb and Uber. And because we are in Europe, I like to stress it on Schüttgut and Chemondis. They are construction material and this chemical material. They both had the idea using a platform. What is a platform? It's a computer solution, IT solution. It's a dark red point here. And like in all business, you have suppliers, the yellow ones, and you have customers, the orange ones. And the difference is now, if there's a supplier who likes your idea of the platform business, the supplier can add himself to your platform. So he opens an account, put in his data, and he can use your platform. On the customer side, of course, as more suppliers you have, as better for a customer in the selection who can deliver. For your company, it is more or less hassle-free. Once a system is established, like Amazon and eBay, you're just running it. And for example of Amazon, they don't care technically too much if it's 10 million customers or 100 million customers. And this works quite good as well here in the industry of Schüttgut. It's because they are 2 years old, for example, and they have a growth rate of 40% per month. So this is like a good idea that this could be successful, and in the end they're making money. In the moment they are only in Germany, but I'm sure they will expand their service offer, that's it in the end, to Europe. Chemond is the same with chemical, it's 3 years old, but they're quite successful as well. So that is the business model, become digital. What you can do, it is fast growth on both sides. And this is, of course, in the end, better results for you. Then we got the last word is transformation. We give the transformation as make your company a customer-centric one. Why customer-centric? It's the only one bringing money in. All the other departments spend money. Customers bring money. And so change, all your actions and decisions are based on a customer's need. And if you know what your customer wants or what you could use, so you're quite good in developing service and products, and then you will be successful. Sample, easy. Apple and Tesla, they are for sure customer-centric companies, and you would agree that these both companies are very successful in the market. Nobody thought about Tesla as a car manufacturer some years ago. Apple was a computer company. Now they are ruling the smartphone and the e-drive cars. So that's what I call success. Why all these things? I always use this triangle. Your company here, your customer here, and the competition aside. You're never alone. And have to understand that the digital transformation, if you put it together, it's not a product you can buy. It's literally a process. A process, continuous progress going on and on. And I'm sure you already started it years ago. For example, word processing. For example, smartphones. For example, CRM systems. The bad part is it will never end. My point of view, it's going on and on, more changes and faster changes. So the best time to start is now. Together with the world of transparency, it means the customer knows what you're doing, the customer knows what the competition is doing, and they can make selections. Today it's you, tomorrow it's a competition. So if you are not ahead in these things, maybe you lose your customers. Because they can compare not only the prices, your product, your services, the quality with the other companies, and then they make a decision, ad hoc decision, where to buy. You know it from yourself. You go to Amazon to buy something, you get different suppliers, and you make a selection, which one you choose. So that's another challenge. And of course, in general, there are more and more players coming up. They will intrude your market from countries you never thought about, or you're not on your radar. For example, I know India is very well in this digital technology and development of apps and software, whatever. On the other side, Africa is a whole continent on development. So I'm sure the new competition could come from these areas and not regarding Latin America or whatever. And as always, the better one will kill the good one. It means in this case, the new tech will kill the old one. We don't have mobile phones, we have smartphones. We have different technology, and of course, people will use it, people and companies. And the part is why, because the digital products like an app or a software can be developed everywhere. If you need something, you can go to India, to China, to Latin America, wherever you want to go. And you can be sure these people who develop are as skilled as we are. As a result, the customer becoming less loyal to you because there's more offers in the market, more competition. And in general, our behavior is changing, becoming more digital, and the customer world as well. Just put your smartphone in your hand and look for something, and you find offers results. That's a behavioral change. And for this reason, the customers are less loyal. It is easy to change when you're in the internet. And whatever the reason is, better price, better service, faster delivery, there will be a reason that the customer is buying from somebody else. So make sure that you know it and make sure that the customer stays with you. Give you a sample, easy sample from my own experience. We were in charge to optimize the sales process in a company. When I joined the company, it was situation 9 employees, all in sales, 6 in Germany, 1 in UK, 1 in the USA, and the CEO. And they had every Monday, they had a meeting, sales meeting, presenting the status of the different accounts. And of course, when you're a salesperson, you have to present your week in front of your colleagues and in front of your boss. You take a lot of time to make it look good, normal, human. So I know all of these salespeople used about 30 to 60 minutes by Excel, by Word, by whatever tools to make it look good. Then in the presentation, we needed 2 hours. Everybody showed his status and the change and whatever. And then after the meeting, of course, you need a consolidation for C-level, a CEO and the CFO, because we talk money when we talk customer. This needed another hour. After the installation of CRM cloud-based, the preparation for each salesperson was already in the system. When you do it just in time, online, you put in the data, the information about customer, prospect, leads. You don't have to redo it again. And if the information is in the system, you can do an easy presentation just clicking a button, even if there's no button anymore. So we changed the time from 2 hours to 30 minutes, showing just the difference. Everybody was prepared. Of course, you need some training, but it was okay. And then even the consolidation for the C-level was included, like a management information system, CFO and COO. So, and these people, they just don't need this presentation anymore. Literally, you can click anytime on your system to see the status. Yeah. So a very wave change, in my opinion. It worked quite well. In numbers, because as I said, I'm an economist, we said before they spent around 8 hours every sales rep in preparation. Then we got this 2 hours meeting every Monday. And we got an extra hour, additional hour for consolidation of the data presenting to the C-level. After the change, we needed this 30 minutes in the presentation for all. That's it. So from 25 hours to 4.5 hours. That's only the number and time. But of course, we improved the quality of the data, because once you type it in, it is what it is. You don't have to copy it to an Excel spreadsheet to whatever. And you have real-time information. So every time you can have a look, what's the status? It wasn't easy handling for sales because it was structured information. And this means you get structured history of customers, leads, prospects. Right? And we had, as I said, sorry, oops, this was too fast. So we had real-time information for C-level as well. Every time, cloud-based, wherever they are. And we get all data in one system only. We call it single source of truth, which is there is right. No copy, no change, no optimization of presentations. And now we got this impact of the globalization on business. You can act or you can react. I always recommend be the one who acts, stay ahead. And with better information systems, of course, you can have better and faster decisions. And decision making is what we need on a management level. At the same time, you improve the quality of your data. So you know it's right. And you can connect your different locations or info centers with the system. As a result, you can optimize costs. But what you need is skilled workers, people who are on a certain level of knowledge to work with the system. And of course, nowadays you have to be in general flexible. This is an opportunity to be flexible. And please focus on the customer. Because as I said, that's the only one bringing money in. It was in history that some companies forget the customer, and now they're history. You don't want to experience this. The bad part is change. It's not only change, it is speed, and more speed. So changes are coming rapidly. I can't tell you what we have tomorrow morning on the radar. Maybe new apps, new services, new products. And digital products are easy because you can spread them all over the world within no time. So we recommend, if you got these information systems running, use some artificial intelligence in the background. It helps a lot, faster and better quality of data. Remember, the competition is everywhere. And you know it from the big guys to the small guys, the startups. Before we had the phrase too big to fail. That's not true anymore. Every startup can be successful and killing the old companies. What you need, and that's one of the tasks, you need the right skilled worker. I said it again, and I can focus on it. You need the right people to work with you. And then you can do the automatization as well in purchase, in production, in sales, marketing. And again, not only think about customer, think from the end. What does it mean? Maybe, you know, in engineering called reverse engineering, you go from the result you want to have, go back to the engineering part, and that what we have to do to get this result. This works since years, so why not do it in other areas of your company? In general product development, in marketing, in handling sales, even in HR. Look what you want, and then find out how you get it. I recommend this very well. It works very well indeed. And of course, we can give you some more information. We say, yes, that's a good idea. Now the question, how we do it? We as a consulting company, and I'm only one of the consultants. In the end is, how do you do it? How do you do it? I recommend we focus on a particular problem. One of the things you have in mind should be changed, should be improved. Necessarily, it's C-level decision makers have to be involved. If it's C-level or managing whatever. And we start simply with an inventory of the current situation regarding this particular problem. If we know this, we can start with the analysis about the situation, what to do, and I'm sure we will find a general solution for your problem. And I always have to add here, we have to train managers and staff on the new solutions. Without training, there will be no acceptance, and no acceptance means it will not work. I'm sure you already experienced this with different systems. It is important. A quick overview. And now the question is, how can you start? Easy. contact us. There's an email, or you can go for me in LinkedIn or in Xing in Germany. When you send us an email with your problem or what you're thinking about, we come back to you with a time slot, or you can talk for free with one of our consultants, depending on the areas, which are HR, transformation, whatever. So that's an offer to you. Just send us the email, give us a brief information what you're thinking about, and we come back to you and offer you a time slot, and then we can start with finding a solution. That's all from my side. If you have more questions, ask now or ask Sophia or go in contact. Thanks a lot from Berlin.
Thank you so much, Ralf, for that insightful presentation on digital transformation. I think you've made it crystal clear that there's an urgent need to implement digital transformation as soon as possible and as effectively as possible in order to survive. Also, just to the audience, thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate you listening in. And just so everybody knows, we'll be sending after this webinar the link to the recording. So if you came late or if you just want to come back to it any time, you'll have the link for that. I think then without further ado, we can just go into the Q&A portion of the webinar. So feel free, guys, listening in, send in your questions now. And until then, though, Ralf, if it's okay, I'll just go ahead with my own.
Yeah.
Great. So you talked about the terms digital and transformation. And to me, they're really interlinked. So are they the same or are they two different entities? What are your thoughts on that?
Actually, they're different. You can become customer-centric without the digitalization stuff, and you can digitize without the transformation part. We, of course, recommend doing it together. If you start a change project, look to the end result, and we recommend do it together at the same time. So a lot of people call it digital transformation, but it's different parts. Nevertheless, you should do it together, having a better result or good result. Okay?
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for that. Then my next question is, does digital transformation work for all industries? Because I'm sure there may be some skeptics listening and thinking, I don't see how this is relevant for my industry. What do you think about that?
It is not, on this level, it's not industry specific. It's like word processing and smartphones. Everybody using IT systems. So if you go digital, it's a strategy. It's not a product. On strategic levels, it's for everybody. If you go more detailed, of course, later, you go more like industry production or service industries. But in the beginning, like what we talked right now in the moment, it's for all companies on all levels, and we talk strategy.
Okay, thank you. That clarifies that then. My third question to you would be, where can such a digital transformation product, I'll say, be purchased? Because the way you explained it, it's more along the lines of implementing processes rather than buying a product, a finished product. So could you just explain that a little bit more for the audience?
Yeah.
Listening?
In my definition, a company is a bunch of processes, different areas and different things to do. And what you do with digitalization, you go into the processes. And this is a long-term or middle long-term if you change the process. It's not a product you can buy from Amazon, whatever. It is changing your policy, changing the strategy, and go to each process in the company. Of course, you start in one point. Don't try to do everything in one time. Doesn't work. Go to one area, HR, sales, marketing, whatever, and figure out what you can change in this process, and then it comes all together in the end, having a digital solution and end the transformation if possible.
Okay, so definitely a long-term process then.
Yep. I cannot promise you short-term because that's not realistic. And I said before, it will never end. So if you already started, you continue, and I don't see an end because there will more and more changes coming and higher speed. So just start right now.
Okay, well, that kind of follows right into my next question, which is, you stated that we can't lead a company without going digital. Is that really that much of a high priority? Should everybody really be putting this at the top of the file, so to speak?
And my recommendation for sure, because what is a company? Processes. What we do in the management level, C-level decision making. And for decisions, you need information. The information comes from data. raw data. So all the process of consolidation, the process of consolidation of data to information to knowledge and decisions is much faster and better quality if you use IT systems. And it doesn't help you if you get the information from 2019. You need it real time, and the real time is only possible with these IT systems and the digital processes behind. So yes, I recommend everybody. All companies can do it, and it's not a question of size. It's a question of really the strategy and finally a decision. Go for it.
Okay. So then say if I'm a, let's say a smaller firm that doesn't necessarily have the means to transform to digital, what can you do or what can NMS do then to transform to digital?
Yeah, manpower, of course, is a question, but we as a consulting company have a lot of contacts with other companies as well in IT and software providers. So we can bring in the right companies to find your solution. So we on the consulting side, and we are different consultants worldwide. So even if you're a worldwide company, we can support you. And then we have the contacts to the IT industry or wherever is in charge to bring in the project that you have the results. So you don't have to have too much own manpower.
Okay. So in other words, outsourcing is what you're saying.
That's a magic word for it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Just another question for you, Raif. What are the major challenges to transform to digital? Because I'm sure it's not always a smooth road. There must be some bumps along the way.
There
In
are
your experience, then,
many,
what
of
would you
course.
point out?
The first one is mindset and decision making. Change. It's a change project, and change, nobody likes change in the end. We humans are focused on as it is. Yeah, we want to keep it the same way. So in this point is like I said, that's why I said training is very important. And of course, explanation to the employees why we do it. If you bring the people on board, they understand why and they will follow you. Same on the sea level. Make a decision and live it. It's not just you do it. No, they have to do it as well. Live the change. Become digital. Understand the concept, and then we can have success.
Okay, I see we just have a question coming in from Liliana. In which stage do you think is Germany in the digital transformation?
Yeah, that's a hard question because there is Germany, but there are so many companies in Germany, and them are very digital. I like to have a look to the startup scene here because I'm in Berlin right now here, and you got the old guys like dinosaurs, but doesn't mean they are old-fashioned. They are already doing it, like Volkswagen or the banking sector and everything in between. In general, maybe Germans are more skeptic against this digital change, but in business life, there are many things going on, different levels. Some already started on a lower level, some very advanced. The big guys having outsourced their own companies that they take care about how it could be in a digital world. Yeah, so yeah, it's completely mixed.
Okay. Well, then if there are no other questions from you, I'd say that this concludes the Q&A portion and then obviously the webinar as well. The last thing that I want to mention to you is that we will be hosting another webinar at the end of February, so next month. And obviously we'll be sending out emails about that and posting on social media to announce when exactly that will happen and what we will be talking about. So yeah, just keep your eyes out for that. And otherwise, have a lovely rest of your evening. And we hope to see you then in February.
Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.